Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Nothing against Caleb Johnson, but the absolute love fest has seemingly overshadowed Jaylen Warren and his role in the offense. Jaylen Warren is still the starter, and there's nothing indicating he isn't still the better runner. He is also certainly the more complete, better player, and will see more snaps and more roles. The advantage that rookies have is that they haven't proven that there is anything they can't do yet. I'm not suggesting that Caleb Johnson will be a disappointment, although with the level of hype he is getting, any realistic showing might disappoint some people. Odds are he won't be fooling anyone into believing he is Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry. It's okay to hype someone up when it just makes that much sense. Caleb Johnson is virtually an ideal running back for the Steelers in Arthur Smith's offense. There's a reason that they drafted him when they could have gone in other directions. They could have drafted Bashal Tutin, for example, or Kamska Tebow, or Trevor Etienne. But the Steelers drafted Caleb Johnson specifically because he is an easy projection. What they want him to do in their offense, they already saw him do in Iowa. He is also a big, durable back who can handle a bigger workload. And ultimately, the hype that we're talking about is merely comparative analysis. As much as Steelers fans might love Jaylen Warren, he is not an all-pro running back. It's not unreasonable to think Johnson, a third-round pick with prototypical running back traits, turns out better. Maybe it takes him longer than October to take over, but hype is only bad when it's without merit. The Steelers are building toward the 2025 season, following yet another disappointing year. While they reached the playoffs, they once again lost decisively in the first round. They are facing questions, both publicly, and perhaps privately as well. Questions about the standard, and what the Steelers stand for. The rookie class of a year ago was successful, but they need to step up into staple starters in 2025. And they need everyone healthy to do it, not an insignificant consideration. They needed a strong influx of talent in both free agency and in the 2025 NFL Draft yet again. These sorts of uncertainties are what we will address in our Buy or Sell series. In each installment, we will introduce a topic statement and weigh some of the arguments for either buying it, meaning that you agree with it or expect it to be true, or selling it, meaning you disagree with it or expect it to be false. It came late in the offseason, and it was rather surprising considering the timing, but the Pittsburgh Steelers trading wide receiver George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys for a 2026 third-round pick, along with late-round pick swaps in 2027, is the best move the Steelers have made all offseason. At least, that's how The Athletic's Mike Sando sees it. In a piece for The Athletic Thursday morning, Sando chose the Pickens trade as his favorite Steelers move of the offseason, stating that Pittsburgh got some decent value out of the trade, which he considers a win, even if the move opened up hole offensively for the black and gold. Getting a 2026 third-round pick and a 2027 fifth from Dallas for receiver George Pickens and a 2027 sixth might have been the Steelers' best move, especially after DK Metcalf's arrival signaled the end for Pickens in Pittsburgh, Sando writes. There hasn't been much to like about the Steelers' offseason from a quarterback standpoint, no matter what happens with Aaron Rodgers. Acquiring and paying Metcalf didn't seem like the most logical move, either. But Pickens had to go, so getting decent value was a win for Pittsburgh. When the Steelers acquired DK Metcalf via trade with the Seattle Seahawks earlier in the offseason and handed him a significant extension, that did spell the end of Pickens in Pittsburgh, even if GM Omar Khan and head coach Mike Tomlin downplayed it, stating that they planned on having Pickens with Metcalf in 2025 to try to create a better passing attack. After keeping Pickens on the roster through the 2025 NFL Draft despite some trade chatter, it seemed like Pickens would make it to his fourth season with Pittsburgh. But that ultimately wasn't the case as the Steelers and Cowboys struck a deal, sending Pickens to the Lone Star State. Pickens is in a better situation with Dak Prescott at quarterback and CeeDee Lamb opposite him at receiver. But the Steelers are better off, too, not having to deal with the headaches from Pickens in what is a contract year for the former second-round pick. The move also gives the Steelers more draft capital for the 2026 NFL Draft, which will be in Pittsburgh. There, the Steelers should be in a good spot to land a potential franchise quarterback in what has the makings of a great class at the position. If they're able to do that, it will be all worth it. It's been a rather interesting offseason for the Pittsburgh Steelers under GM Omar Khan and head coach Mike Tomlin, especially as they continue to wait out a decision from 41-year-old quarterback Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers might not have any remorse regarding the situation they're in at quarterback, and they might not have truly liked all the options they had this offseason at the most important position in sports. Still, what they're doing with the Rodgers situation and continuing to wait for him has people around the league truly stunned at how the Steelers are operating. At least, that's what CBS' Aditi Kinkhabwala reported Wednesday afternoon during an appearance on the 93.7 The Fan PM show with host Andrew Filipponi. Kinkhabwala was asked about Steelers Hall of Fame quarterback Terry Bradshaw's comments about it being a joke that the Steelers are waiting around on Rodgers, leading to her revealing some conversations with those around the league who are stunned by the Steelers. Our latest video certainly, there are people that would agree with Terry Bradshaw's sentiments. I can't tell you what the entire Steelers organization feels. I can tell you that I've certainly talked to a lot of people around the league who are stunned that the Steelers are sitting here and just waiting, Kinkhabwala said regarding the Steelers and the decision to wait out Rodgers, according to video via 93.7 The Fan on YouTube. Rodgers has been a hot-button topic all offseason after the New York Jets decided to move on from him after 2 years, cutting him loose in unceremonious terms. Late in his career to date, Rodgers has become a somewhat controversial figure, primarily off the field, due to multiple comments he has made on podcasts and TV interviews. That's largely where Bradshaw's take comes from. But the Steelers' decision to wait out a 41-year-old quarterback coming off a season in which he really struggled until late in the year is certainly puzzling, especially considering Rodgers has no equity built up with the Steelers. He's accomplished quite a bit in his career with 4 NFL MVPs and a Super Bowl on his resume, and he'll be a first-ballot Hall of Famer and is the greatest QB in Green Bay Packers history. None of that is with the Steelers, though. Sure, he's earned the right to take his time and do what he wants in the offseason, but that doesn't mean the Steelers have to oblige him with all of that stuff. And yet, that's exactly what they're doing with team president and owner Art Rooney too, stating the team is willing to wait a little longer just last week during the league meetings. The Steelers seemingly believe he's a plug-and-play quarterback and don't care when he shows up, considering he has no deadline placed on him to make a decision. However, some current Steelers have stated the importance of organized team activities and the need for all parties involved to help build the team and develop chemistry. Pittsburgh's soft stance on Rodgers has many puzzled and questioning what happened to the Steelers' standard. The Giants, even the New York Giants, said you're either getting on the train or you're not. Are you in or are you out? It's not that complicated of an endeavor. Do you want to be a part of this team? Do you want to help grow and build this team? Do you want to be a part of molding this offense, taking ownership of this offense, or do you not? Kinkhabwala added regarding Rodgers. And the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting here and waiting indefinitely and just saying, well, all right, well, whenever he is ready to say yes to us, we'll be here, that surprises a lot of people around the league who I've spoken to who have felt that the Steelers organization sort of has different standards, let's say. The Steelers very clearly have eyes on the 2026 NFL Draft, with a boatload of draft picks they're projected to have ahead of the 7th-round draft in the Steel City. That class projects to be quite good at quarterback, where the Steelers could realistically find their franchise quarterback long-term. However, how they're handling things right now, with little urgency, and putting players actually on the roster in a tough spot with all the questions and annoying storylines, is not a good look for the Steelers. People around the league are taking notice and raising eyebrows, too.